Have you ever just been browsing the Roblox catalog and you see an item that you really like, but upon closer inspection, it's also 27,000 Robux? Well, little Timmy, if you saw this video's title, then guess what? I have the thing just for you! So stick around as I go over 5 bootleg Roblox items you can use to trick your friends right now. May or may not work. So you've heard of the ice crown. They're a pretty cool item. But there's one problem. The cheapest one is worth 40,000 Robux. The newspaper crown! Okay, now hear me out. I know it isn't perfect, but come on, it surprisingly works. And unfortunately, it's not for sale anymore, but back in the day, it was for the low price of either 150 or 200 Robux. I'm too lazy to look. And I don't know about you, but an ice crown for 200 Robux? Sign me up. For our next pick, we're going to go all the way back to 2007. Maybe not. Jokes aside, you've probably heard of the classic Roblox fedora, but come on, it's 52,000 Robux right now. Well, what if I told you you can get a fedora that looks surprisingly similar for 1,000 Robux? And if you can't see on the screen now, to do that, we're going to rob from this guy right here. And by rob, I of course mean we're just going to kindly ask this guy here if I can take his hat, so just give me a few minutes. Perfect, the crook fedora. Okay, now in all honesty, this really does look like the classic fedora to an extent, and wait a second. Okay, in all honesty, this really does look similar to the classic fedora. You can really see it once you compare the two. I mean, am I the only one who sees that? Even if you don't see it, you at least get a very cool fedora for 1,000 Robux. In fact, I'd say it's one of the better looking cheap fedoras. But seriously, am I the only one who sees this? The domino crown, one of the most expensive and coveted items in Roblox. In fact, I'd say it's the most recognizable and iconic item on Roblox. Who wouldn't want this thing? But unfortunately, if you want this item, it's going to set you back a whopping 4.2 million item value, and at the time of making this video, it's probably going to go up much more, as for some reason it sold for 4.4 million Robux a few days ago. So what if there was a way I told you that you could get this for still a pretty high price, but over 100 times cheaper? That brings us to the counterfeit domino crown, which is only worth about 40,000 Robux at the time of making this video. And again, this is another item that you wouldn't expect would look as similar, but it kind of does. You can obviously tell the difference, but it's very much worth the 40,000 Robux you'd shell out for this thing. Now, it's obviously a bit wider, bigger, and more beat up than the original. But hey, it does its job, and for basically 100 times less the price, I'd say it's a pretty good deal. Okay, now I'm gonna get actually serious about the next two, so if you wanted to see real bootleg Roblox items, you've come to the right place. The eccentric shop teacher. Now, although it's not too well known now and has dropped in value a lot, basically to the point where it has no demand whatsoever, it still remains a coveted item due to the fact that it is essentially the rarest item on Roblox with only 4 owners. And if you want this thing, it's going to set you back about 4.5 million item value, and of course, because of the low owner count, that's if you manage to get one in the first place. Now honestly, it's one of my personal favorite items and looks, and I think it's very underrated in that sense, as it doesn't look quite too bad. It actually looks pretty nice in my... Wait a second. The Spring Punk Top Hat. Now this is where we start to get actually kind of serious, as this thing is a pretty long forgotten item that I don't think a lot of people remember. It was like 400 Robux and sold back in 2015 and has never been put on sale ever again. But this item here, it's just a bootleg eccentric shop teacher. There's no difference. It's just a bootleg shop teacher, and to be honest, I think it looks a bit better. Again, here's it in game again, and I'm going to go ahead and compare it to the real thing, and you guys can see for yourself. So obviously there are differences, but come on, it has the same basic shape, color, it even has like the thingies on the back, and maybe I'm stretching it, but come on. Now of course you can't have the eccentric shop teacher without classic domino crown rich dude look, and I think it works better with this one, to be honest. Yeah, I see it. So with that, the Spring Punk top hat takes the number 2 spot, and if you got this item back in the day, you're really, really lucky. Okay, now before we get on to the number 1 spot, I'm going to make 2 honorable mentions here that I didn't feel like fit in perfectly. For a first honorable mention, I had the 2 DIY Dominuses, and to be honest, you get why I'm putting them in honorable mentions, but they're not really bootleg Roblox items in the sense that they kind of match, they're just joke items. My second honorable mention has to go to the Festive Sword Valkyrie, which, come on, it's obvious. It's just obvious. Perhaps you've heard of the Skater Hat series. They're some of the most expensive items in Roblox. In fact, most of them cost over 100,000 Robux. So, I'm going to go ahead and put them all on my character here and let you guys see all of them in game. Starting with the most expensive, the Euro. Okay, now what if I told you that out of all those skater hats I just showed you, there was something out of place? Now, first of all, you might think it was the white one, as it was just an inverted version of one of the other ones if you didn't notice. But that is not the one that's out of place. In fact, one of those is not actually a skater hat, and it cost only 135 Robux. The one I'm talking about is actually this one right here, and if you look at it again, it has this little graphic on the side, and it has the little skateboard sticker here, and again, just look at it. I'll show it compared to another one. Again, compared to the red grind here, you may think, what am I talking about, Vivian? That is just a skater hat. There's no difference. It's just a brown version of the skater hat series, so... But again, what if I told you that there actually is no brown skater hat? I am talking about the Roblox skater hat, which is again is 135 Robux, and looking at it, it's a part of the skater series. Like, there's no joke, it's just 135 Robux. Again, compared to another item in the series, the red grind, it just looks like it fits right in. So basically, you're paying for an item for 135 Robux here, which looks exactly like an item that cost $1 million. Yes, please? Huh? What's this? Oh, it's the outro! Thank you all so much for watching, and if you're new around here, you should click this big red subscribe thingy to keep up to date with new videos. And make sure to smash this big blue upvote thingy 50,000 times. As always, remember to tell me below in the comments what you thought of the video. Bye-bye!